1 year and 1 week ago, our bosses here at the Big Ten Network informed me that we would not be traveling our studio show to Indianapolis for the Big Ten tournament, and that instead I would be hosting our coverage here from Chicago. It was a decision that literally made headlines. It was one of the first responses by a sports organization publicly to what was going on with the coronavirus. At the time, none of us could have possibly imagined what would unfold at that Big Ten tournament. It was a memorable, harrowing, and intensely sad 24 hours.
The Wisconsin Badgers have won a share of the Big Ten title.
And Rutgers gets a huge victory.
2020 Big Ten Conference champion!
Oh, wow. Back Hoiberg. So gets it back, it's short. Illinois hangs
WHO has been assessing this outbreak around the clock, and we're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity. We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
When I left Las Vegas to go to Indy, it was kind of eerie because things had started to happen where you were hearing about the virus really starting to take over.
I would turn on the TV in the hotel and see the news going on about the pandemic breaking out, and we were just still wondering if we were going to play or not.
The second you got there, it was like hazy, like everything felt slow motion.
And the 2020 men's basketball tournament is underway from Indianapolis.
I would have fans coming up to me during the game and ask me, like, are we going to be okay? Are we okay to be here? Is there going to be another game tonight?
We now found out the Big Ten just released a statement saying that this is the last day that fans will be allowed to attend the Big Ten tournament.
I thought they were joking at first. They play with no fans. I haven't done that since maybe AAU.
As I'm waiting outside the locker room, the teams for Game 2 arrive, including Nebraska. Fred Hoiberg comes in. So I have a chat with Fred as he's walking by, and he stops right in front of me. I mean, a good 2 feet from me because it's a crowded hallway. And we have a nice 3-4 minute chat. And at the very end of it, I say, well, this is great. I'll see you on the court. And he says, I hope so, because I don't feel good.
Do I say thanks, Dave, or no? Okay.
As the day kind of gradually wore on, I went to our trainer, and he recommended that I go see the on-site doctor that the Big Ten had hired. So I went and saw him, and he did check up on me, checked all my vitals and checked my lungs, and said, you're fine to coach.
Game number 2 of the night and of the tournament.
We were at our peak. We were playing great. And, so there's true sense of excitement going into the Big Ten tournament. Like, we really have a chance to win this. We go to dinner. We have a great dinner.
The big thing I remember about Wednesday is sitting in the green room with Coach Miles and Coach Beeline, and the Rudy Gobert story broke. One of our producers got an alert on his phone and kind of said, the NBA season is being suspended. And all of us, what?
Cheatham sees Gervais, passes it beautifully. Nebraska not done yet.
Fred looks like he's a little under the weather.
You could see Fred leaning forward.
I think the one thing that kind of got all the attention was there was a clip on TV where, I kind of put my head in my hands, and, my assistant coach, Armand Gates, was rubbing Purell sanitizer in his hands. An official came down to our bench and said, you need to leave the floor. And I said, what did I do? I said, why do I need to leave the floor? He said, this is not a debate. You need to leave the floor now. I walk off the floor, and they were waiting there with a wheelchair and a N95 mask. And they put it on me, and they wheeled me back into an ambulance.
We could see Coach Hoiberg over there like sweating and things like that. But we didn't know if it was COVID related.
Indiana gets win number 20 in convincing fashion as they pull away 89-64.
So when the game ends, I was told by our network studio, stay put, there could be breaking news, we need you there, it could be hours. And it starts to worry me. And after a couple hours of waiting to do a possible breaking news hit, I sort of decided I need to go and figure out if I'm okay.
We came back in the locker room after the game and we had to stay in there and everybody's kind of in shock. And I was getting, messages from my parents and my friends. They were all watching the game, asking if we were all right. And that was, obviously a very, very strange feeling that you were just stuck in a locker room in some arena in Indianapolis.
They took me in to the hospital where they told me what was going on. They said that, since I had cold-like, flu-like symptoms, that they had to do a test for COVID-19, which again, I really had just heard the initial stages of that virus. So they told me that I had tested positive for influenza A. So, I guess I'd never been so relieved to hear that I had the flu.
Once we saw that he was okay, we were gearing up towards our game, but it was very just unsettling that night, to be honest.
I was shocked when we woke up Thursday that it wasn't canceled. And then when I heard, people were going over to the gym to play that day, I was floored. You just don't feel like you have all the information.
I'll never forget this day. I'll never forget this day of being in studio. But we came in with the notion that we were doing pregame shows and halftimes in between games.
We started warming up. You could kind of see it on both teams' faces, like us and Michigan. People, it just felt weird because, we weren't used to empty arena. We had no idea, what that was going to feel like. And we're like, we're really about to play a game right now? Like, this doesn't feel right.
I think one of the Rutgers coaches say, like, yeah, we're not going to play. I'm still just trying to keep positive. I was the only one that kind of heard it.
I have some somewhat shocking news that I am being told right now, and that is that the Rutgers and Michigan players have been told to leave the court and that the tournament, as of right now, and again, this is literally something I heard within the last 30 seconds, is being canceled.
Once they told us that pretty much to go back in the locker room, I knew what it was. So I think I shot a free throw, I missed it. I shot a free throw, I made it, and I shot another one just because I kind of knew that this is about to be shut down. So I kind of just wanted to get my little last memories, last little shots up.
It was heartbreaking to look at the cameras and see Xavier Simpson out on the court reflecting on his career was over at the University of Michigan. He'd had so much success in the Big Ten, and now here it was all over.
We get taken to the locker room. Coach Pico comes in, slow, sad. Like, you could just see it on his face. He was like, guys, we're not going to play the game. And it was just quiet.
I get word Kevin Warren's in the building, and suddenly I'm sitting down, live interview with Kevin Warren, Big Ten commissioner, first sort of major interview he's doing since getting the job.
My total focus will be to make sure that our student athletes are put at the center of all of our decisions.
It's just kind of sudden, like, that, especially being a senior, like, like my days were coming to an end, but like, it was a lot of things that I felt like I could have accomplished. It was a lot of time I thought I still had.
There was a lot of uncertainty. What does this virus mean for our entire country? What does it mean for those people that we love? What does it mean for our family and friends? I think everybody's immediate concern was almost beyond the game.
It was traumatizing, leaving Indianapolis, after finding out the news. Nobody knew COVID was going to be a huge thing. Nobody knew it would stop us like that or hold anybody back.
When the NCAA tournament was canceled, the feeling for me and my teammates, I think we were all just really, really almost sad.
I don't think any of us had ever imagined a world without sports. I mean, it had never occurred to me that the sports world could shut down in the way that it did.